Dear, you can start.
Yes. Good morning to all of you. Our Union Finance Minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, present the budget on Tuesday. Uh, the Union budget implement a tax rate 30% on cryptocurrency. It sounds like a negative news. Union budget uh, 2022 classified the crypto is as virtual digital asset. In US, crypto treat like a house or property. In UK, crypto treat like stock. But in the both countries, they pay tax on cryptocurrency. It is necessary. Why? Because it is necessary in India. Why? Because in India, more than 2 crore Indian invested in crypto. Indians hold more than 40,000 crore in cryptocurrency. In previous years, no नो रूल फॉर द क्रिप्टो करेंसी. लोगों को पता ही नहीं था ये लीगल है या इलीगल है. बट नाउ इन बजट 2022 द गवर्नमेंट implement a tax rate 30% on it. For example, if we purchase cryptocurrency for 1 lakh and in July I will sell it 1,25,000 rupees. So tax will be implemented only 25,000. That is 7,500 rupees plus surcharge plus cess. And tax will be paid only on realized gain. Profit, if we have no profit, तो हमें टैक्स देने की कोई दिक्कत जरूरत नहीं है. We took टैक्स केवल हमें नेट प्रॉफिट पर देना है. We took an example for this. Ethereum, it is also type of a cryptocurrency. If Ethereum पर हमें 1 लाख रुपए का प्रॉफिट हुआ है और क्रिप्टो करेंसी पर 50,000 रुपए का लॉस हुआ है, तो वी विल सेट ऑफ कर देंगे हम 50,000 रुपए के साथ. तो टैक्स केवल हमको 50,000 रुपए पर ही देना पड़ेगा. बट क्रिप्टो का किसी और के साथ हम सेट ऑफ नहीं कर सकते. क्रिप्टो को हम कैरी फॉरवर्ड नहीं कर सकते. जिस साल हमको लॉस हुआ है उसी साल हम उसको सेट ऑफ करेंगे, जिस साल प्रॉफिट हो उसी देंगे. गवर्नमेंट आल्सो implement TDS 1%. सेल why TDS implement? बिकॉज सेल ट्रांजेक्शन को रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट, जब हम TDS देंगे तो गवर्नमेंट के पास इसका रिकॉर्ड जाएगा, तो जिससे कि हमारी सिक्योरिटी भी बनी रहेगी. थैंक यू सो मच.
So, hello and good morning, everyone. As you know, my name is Chetan, and I'm going to talk about the budget announced by our Finance Minister, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman. This budget for 22-23, इसका जो estimated expense है वो 39.45 लाख करोड़ रखा गया है, and इसकी जो revenue receipt है उसका estimation 22.84 लाख करोड़ रखा गया है. अभी आप यू कैन सी हियर रेवेन्यू जो रिसीट है वो एक्सपेंडिचर से लेस है. सो इसके लिए जो गवर्नमेंट इसको इक्वल करने के लिए बोरोइंग करेगी फंड्स की, तो ये इसको कहते हैं फिस्कल डेफिसिट. सो करंट ईयर का जो हमारा फिस्कल डेफिसिट है वो 6.9% है, एंड एस्टिमेटेड जो टारगेट है हमारा 2025 तक वो 4% का रखा गया है. एंड नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट वन इम्पोर्टेंट थीम ऑफ बजट, सस्टेनेबिलिटी. सो सस्टेनेबिलिटी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थीम ऑफ अ बजट. अब इसमें ईवी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक व्हीकल और जो सोलर है उसके लिए बहुत सारी पॉलिसीज बनाई जाएंगी. सो फर्स्ट आई एम गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक व्हीकल्स. उसके लिए स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर जो है वो बहुत नेसेसरी है. अब इसका मतलब क्या है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक व्हीकल है जो उसकी बैटरी की चार्जिंग में बहुत टाइम लगता है. इट इज़ अ टाइम कंज्यूमिंग प्रोसेस. सो इस अगर बैटरीज है जो स्टैंडर्डाइज नहीं होंगी तो हमको जो चार्जिंग जो वहाँ पे बहुत वेट करना पड़ेगा हमको चार्जिंग सेक्शन पर. तो जो इसके लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है कि बैटरीज है जो स्टैंडर्डाइज साइज की हों. तो इसके लिए क्या किया जाएगा, बैटरी स्वैपिंग पॉलिसी है जो वो लगाई जाएगी. इसके लिए इंटरऑपरेबल प्रोसीजर बनाए जाएंगे. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, जो मैन्युफैक्चरर है वो सेम टाइप की बैटरीज बनाएगा और सेम साइज की बैटरीज बनाएगा, तो ताकि वो इजीली स्वैप की जा सकें. इसका मतलब ये है कि जो हमारी अनचार्ज बैटरी हैं वो हम चार्जिंग स्टेशन पर जाएंगे और उसके बदले में हम चार्ज बैटरीज को ले लेंगे। तो इससे जो ये प्रोसीजर है जो बहुत फास्ट हो जाएगा, जो कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक व्हीकल के लिए बहुत जरूरी है। एंड सेकंड एग्जांपल मैं इसका लेना चाहूँगा सोलर के लिए। सोलर में भी हम इन्वेस्टमेंट की जाएगी, जिसके लिए 280 गीगावाट की इंस्टॉल्ड कैपेसिटी प्लानिंग 2030 तक की प्लानिंग की जा रही है। अब इसका आउटले रखा गया है 19,500 करोड़, जिसके लिए सोलर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट बनाई जाएंगी अंडर पीएलआई स्कीम में। अब इस इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए पैसा आएगा कहाँ से? इसके लिए कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर है जो उसको इंक्रीज किया जाएगा 7.5 लाख करोड़ तक, ये टारगेट रखा गया है, जो कि पिछली बार से 35% का जंप है डायरेक्टली। सो इसके लिए इससे भी इकोनॉमी में बहुत अच्छा फायदा होगा। सो दिस इज माय पॉइंट फॉर सस्टेनेबिलिटी। थैंक यू वेरी मच। So I would like to nominate team 2 now. Over to team 2.
Good morning, everyone. I am the team leader of Team Alpha. We are going to discuss about the highlights of Budget 22-23. Starting with the impact of budget on direct tax. A new provision is introduced to allow taxpayers to update the past return and include omitted income by additional tax payment. Tax incentive period extended by 1 year for startups. Eligible startups incorporated under Section 80 IAC will now get tax benefits until March 31, 2023. Corporate surcharge to be reduced from 12 to 7%. Alternate minimum tax to be reduced to 15% for cooperative societies. If I talk about the digital assets, income from transfer of digital assets such as crypto is to be taxed at 30%. No deductions will be allowed except the cost of acquisition of digital assets. Loss on sale of digital assets cannot be set off against any other income. TDS at 1% will be levied above the threshold. Gifting of digital assets will now also be taxable in the hands of receiver. The guardian of differently abled can get a tax deduction on payment of the annuity or lump sum during the lifetime of parent or guardian once the parent or guardian has attained 60 years. Any surcharge and cess levied on income are not allowed as business expenditure. Brought forward loss cannot be set off against undisclosed income detected during any search or survey. Now over to Tanisha.
Okay. So hello everyone, my name is Tanisha Gar. As you know, we are here to highlight some points regarding budget 2022. I am pleased to highlight some points regarding indirect taxation in our budget. The record collection of rupees out the initial rate of 7.5%. The initial rate of 7.5% to be imposed. Custom duty on imitation jewelry was raised to discourage their domestic manufacturing. Duty on specified leather packaging boxes reduced to 5%. Custom duty on methanol to be reduced. Levying additional excise duty at rupees 2 per liter on unblended fuel to encourage fuel unblending. Duty concession on import of phone, chargers, transformer, etc. enable domestic manufacturing. More than 350 exemptions on importing agri products, chemicals, drugs, etc. will be totally phased out from our GST scope. That's all from my side. Now Kuwarpreet will be here for the budget allocation part. Over to you, Kuwarpreet.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kuwarpreet Singh. Now I will make you understand about budget allocation. A 6.4% fiscal deficit has been projected for India in financial year 2022 to 2023. Revised fiscal deficit is estimated at 6.9% of GDP. States to get 1 lakh crore as 50-year interest-free loans to help fund PM GatiShakti related investment. The outlay for capital expenditure to be stepped by sharply by 35.4% from 4.54 lakh crore to 7.50 lakh crore in 2022 to 2023. That's from our team Alpha. Now we will invite room 3 for the discussion of highlights of budget. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Our honorable Finance Minister Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman has presented the budget on 1st February for the budget financial year 22-23, and I am Arshia telling you about the highlights of this budget. Firstly, I want to highlight on the indirect tax, uh, जो concessional customs duty on import of the capital goods to be phased out and the initial rate of 7.5% to be imposed. Custom duty on the imitation jewelry was raised and to discourage the imports, levying additional excise duty at the rate 2 per litre on unblended fuel to encourage fuel blending. Now I would like to highlight on the direct taxes. A new provision is introduced to allow taxpayers to update the past return and include income omitted by the additional tax payment. The updated return can be filed within 2 years from the end of relevant assessment year. Corporate surcharge to be reduced from 12 to 7%. Brought forward loss can't be set off against the undisclosed income. Income from the transfer of digital assets, such as crypto, to be taxed at 30% and the TDS at 1% will be levied. Now I would like to highlight on budget allocation. A 6.4 fiscal deficit has been projected and the revised fiscal deficit has been estimated 6.9% of GDP. Now I would like to highlight on startups. Defense, research and development to be opened up for industry and startup. Startup will be promoted to facilitate the drone shift to promote the drone usage. Agriculture. Government to promote funds for the blended finance for sunrise opportunities and the chemical free natural farming to be promoted in India. Now I would like to highlight on education. 2 lakh Anganwadis to be upgraded for improving child health. A new education policy had advocated a 6% of GDP to the directed towards the education. Now I would like to highlight on virtual currency. RBI to introduce the digital rupee using the blockchain technology starting from 20 to 23. Now I want Mehak to highlight about the other aspects.
Good morning, everyone. As you know that my name is Mehak. I want to tell you about the digital banking. An online bill system will be launched to reduce the delay in payment, and credit growth increased by rupees 5.4 lakh crore this year, the highest in many years. Now my next point is internet connectivity. 5G spectrum auction in 2022 and 23 will be introduced, and all villagers and should have the same access to digital resources as urban area. And my next point is e-passport. Issuance of e-passport will be introduced in 2022 and 23. This passport will take too few seconds to read. The back cover is expected to have a small silicon chip. The chip will have 64 kilobytes of memory space, and the holder photograph and fingerprints will be stored in the chip. Thank you. Now I would like to nominate team 4. Team 4.
Hello.
Team 4, start please. Team 4, start.
Sir Madhur Nia.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible. Continue.
Good morning, everyone. On 1st February 2022, our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman highlighted that the budget of the coming year there is an estimated growth at there will be an estimated growth at 9.27%. And there are four priorities in this budget: PM GatiShakti, inclusive development, productivity enhancement and investment, and financing of investment. In PM GatiShakti, the government expanded the road by 25,000 kilometers using 20,000 crore funds. And railway, there will be a, there will be focus on one station, one product. And and the metro system of our country will find innovative ways of financing. And there will be new 400 Vande Bharat trains in the upcoming coming 3 years. And if I talk about the inclusive development, first agriculture, there will be a 3.2.37 lakh crore direct payment of MSP to the farmers account, and the promotion of chemical-free natural farming products. And if I talk about the micro, small, medium enterprises, there will be a promotion to facilitate the drone infrastructure in our country. And education sector is also uh, facilitating changes in one class, one TV channel program by expanding from 12 channels to 100 channels across the country. And the PLI scheme means the government incentive towards the manufacturing, is also creating at least 60 lakh new jobs in upcoming 5 years. Now I'd like to invite one of our team members to talk on the tax provision.
Hello. Now I would like to summarize the tax budget which is presented by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. The major highlights were budget focuses on providing basic amenities to poor middle class, says by Prime Minister Modi. Taxpayer can now update IT returns within 2 years. India will likely to grow at 9.27%. Gati Shakti master plan to make world-class infrastructure. PLI scheme also to create at least 60 lakh jobs in 5 years. Thank you. Now I would like to nominate Team 5.
रुक जा भाई
Good
मेरा
morning.
hello everyone hello everyone, my name is Aarti, and as you aware that we are highlighting the budget, we are highlighting the about the budget. So I am going to talk about the direct tax, what are the amendments and what are the highlights. So initially so there is an update in the return. So now the time has been extended to the 2 years, and initially there was the alternate minimum tax that is levied at the 18.5%, but now it is reduced to the 15%. And as we talk about the deduction for the government employees, so it has increased to the 14%. Earlier it was 10%, and surcharge on the long capital gains is 15%. And thank you everyone. Now I would like to nominate the room 5.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I, Vanshika, and my team members, Divya and Rachit, will present on topic budget 2022 and 23. Our Honorable Finance Minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, announced the budget on 1st Feb on Friday. Here are my team members talking about the same. Now, I would like to call upon Divya.
Good morning, everyone. Here are the highlights of budget. First of all, talking about economy. Capex target expanded by 35.4% from rupees 5.54 lakh crore to 7.50 lakh crore. India's growth, highest among all major economies, are now in strongest position to withstand challenges. In 2022-23, states will be allowed fiscal deficit of up to 4.4% of GSDP. Talking about expenditure and deficit, proposed fiscal deficit of 4.5% of GDP by year 2025-26. Projected fiscal deficit of 6.4% of GDP in 2022-23. Revised fiscal deficit for 2021-22 at 6.9% of GDP. Talking about taxes, 1% TDS on transfer of virtual assets about a threshold gifts to be taxed now. Surcharge on long-term capital gains capped at 15%. The government will tax income from digital assets transfer at 30%. Gift of cryptocurrency to be taxed at receiver's end. Now over to Rajit.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Virtuous. Let's talk about digital currency. Launch of blockchain-based digital rupee to launch scheme for taxation of virtual digital asset. Losses from sale of virtual digital asset cannot be offset against any other income. Income from virtual digital asset to be taxed at 30%. Let's talk about housing and urban planning. Rupees 48,000 crore is allotted for PM Awas Yojana. Rupees 60,000 crore is allotted for providing access to tap water to 3.8 crore individuals. Government to promote use of public transport in urban areas. Let's talk about electric vehicle. Battery swapping policies to allow EV charging stations for automobiles will be framed, providing private sector will be encouraged to create sustainable and innovative business model for battery and energy as a service. Thank you. I would like to nominate Team 6. Over to Team 6.
Yeah, good morning. Today I, Weber, with my friends are going to present the budget of 22-23. Vinay would be talking about direct tax and Kushi would be presenting indirect tax and budget allocation. So here's to Vinay.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Vinay, and I'm stand here to present some points about direct tax. Income from transfer of digital assets such as crypto to be taxed at 30%. No deduction will be allowed except the cost of acquisition of digital assets. Loss on sale of digital asset cannot be set off against any other income. TDS at 1% will be levied above the threshold. Brought forward loss cannot be set off against undisclosed income deducted during any survey or research. Alternative minimum tax to be reduced to 15% for cooperative society. Corporate surcharge to be reduced from 12% to 7%. A new provision is introduced to allow the taxpayer to update the past return and include omitted income by additional tax payment. The updated return can be filed within 2 years from the end of relevant assessment year. Now over to Khushi.
Hello everyone, I am Khushi Garg. Now I am presenting the highlights of GST. The record collection of rupees 1.4 lakh crore gross GST revenues in January 2022 was the highest since GST inception. Concessional customs duty on import of capital goods to be phased out, the initial rate of 7.5% to be imposed. More than 350 exemptions on importing some agri-products, chemical, drugs, etc. will be phased out. Duty concession on import of phone chargers, transformers, etc. enable domestic manufacturing. Budget allocation is as a 6.4% fiscal deficit has been projected for India in financial year 23. Revised fiscal deficit estimated at 6.9% of GDP. States to get rupee 1 lakh crore as 50-year interest-free loans to help fund PM GatiShakti related investments. The government's effective capital expenditure is estimated at rupees 10.68 lakh crore in 2022-23, about 4.1% of GDP. The outlay for capital expenditure to be stepped up sharply by 35.4% from rupees 4.5 lakh crore to rupees 7.50 lakh crore in 2022 and 2023. Thank you. Now I am inviting Team 7.
Good morning, everyone. Today we Group 7 are here to share the highlights of Budget 2022 presented by our Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and I will throw light on highlights related to tax, economy and finance. Taxpayer can file within 2 years an updated return if there is any anomaly in the filing. Surcharge has also been reduced to 7% from 12% for those cooperatives having income 1 to 10 crores. Tax relief to persons with disabilities will also be increased. Virtual digital assets will be brought under tax regime. A digital asset is anything that is stored digitally and is uniquely identifiable that organizations can use to realize value. Long-term capital gains surcharge will be capped at 15%. Custom duty on cut and polished diamond reduced to 5%. Steel scrap duty extended for another year, and also anti-dumping on stainless steel is being revoked. And anti-dumping duty is a protectionist tariff that a domestic government imposes on foreign imports that it believes are priced below fair market value. Now Nitish will proceed over.
Now, Nitish is going to highlight some points on three topics: development on digital front, infrastructure, and agriculture. Let's discuss about development on digital front first. RBI to introduce digital rupee using blockchain technology in this year. Virtual digital asset to be taxed at the rate 30%, just like NFTs and cryptocurrencies. Gift of virtual asset will be taxed at the receiver's end. 35 digital banks unit to be set up across 75 districts. Now I am going to talk about infrastructure. National highway network to be expanded by 25 kilometers and for 400 new generation Vande Bharat trains to be manufactured in next 3 years. This will lead to increase in FDI. Now let's talk about agriculture. 2.37 lakh crore towards direct payment for minimum support price for the farmers, and chemical free nature farming to be promoted across the country, which will help us to get a good health. Now I will like to introduce Sandeep for further topics.
Good morning to everyone, and my name is and I am going to speak about budget related to education and defense. Digital university will established and to be made in different Indian language based on network hub model. One class, one TV channel will be expanded from 12 to 200 TV channels to provide supplementary education in all regional languages to make up for loss formal education due to COVID. And in defense, 68% capital procurement budget earmarked for domestic procurement, defense R&D to be opened up for startups, private industry and academia. 25% of R&D budget to be set aside for this. Thank you, and I want to nominate Team 8.
Good morning, everyone. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman introduced the budget on 1st February on Friday. She talked about Amrit Mahotsav, which was earlier set to 75 years of Indian independence, which government has earlier announced that 100 smart cities will be made. On which the government has not set any accountability and extended the deadline. Now I will welcome Prateek to mention the detail of income and expenditure of the budget.
Good morning, my name is Prateek and I am going to illuminate the receipts and expenditure highlights of Union Budget 2022-23. And if we talk about receipts in 22-23 are estimated to be 22,83,713 crore, which is 4.8% higher than the previous budget, from which the gross tax revenue is 19,471 crores, and devolution to states is estimated to be 8,16,649 crore, and non-tax revenue are expected to be 2,69,651 crore, which is 4.1% lower than the previous one, and capital receipts are expected to be 65,000 crores. And if we talk about expenditure, the total expenditure is estimated to be 39,44,909 crores, which is 4.6% over than the previous budget of 2021 and 22. Out of this, 11,81,084 crores is proposed to be spent on central sector, and 4,42,781 crore are for centrally sponsored scheme. 2,07,132 crores are to be spent on the pension schemes, and in addition, the expenditure on the interest is estimated to be 9,40,651 crores. And government will spend 50,890 crores on communication such as BSNL, and 67,959 crores on road transport and highways. and 39,000 crores to be state support for COVID-19 programs. And in budget, the expenditure on subsidies are 2,06,831 crore are on food subsidy, 1,05,000 crore on fertilizers. LPG subsidies estimated to be decreased by 10.8%, and for other subsidies, the expenditure will be decreased by 31%. And over to Abhinav.
So I will discuss tax implications. Government has finally, in a way, declared cryptocurrencies and NFTs illegal because they have taxed them at the rate of 30% and 1% TDS on buying and selling of those assets. The government has also updation of the updated tax return can also be filed within the 2 years of the relevant assessment year with payment of additional tax of 25 to 50%, whichever case applicable. Startup extend timeline of startup has also been introduced by the government so that the startup can get tax holiday tax holidays. Also, government has reduced the LTCG from surcharge of LTCG from 37% to 15%. And for cooperative society, the alternative minimum tax has been reduced from 18.5% to 15%, and the surcharge on cooperative society from 12% to 7%. Government has also declared that has also amended the RBI Act 1934. So RBI can now introduce digital currencies. And government will also focus on labor and employment. Government is aiming to increase the labor and employment by introducing digital skilling and livelihood ecosystem portal. The loan for MSMEs will also be increased, and SCZ Act will also be replaced by a new legislation which will aim that the state can also participate in that. Thank you. Over to the team 9.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Nikhil Rajput and I'm here to represent room number 9. As you know, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman introduced the budget 2022-23 on 1st Feb. And I will summarize the budget 22-23 key highlights on education. The budget proposed the establishment of a digital university meant for online education. It would mainly focus on information, communication, and technology with the help of a hub and spoke model. The government would be setting up 2 lakh Anganwadi as on upgrade scale for the better health of the children. The PM E-Vidya program on class on TV channel would be further expanded from 12 to 200 TV channels. The measure would be benefiting states in providing substitute class to students of class 1 to 12, speaking regional languages. The PM E-Vidya program, and as per the new guidelines of the new economic policy, a large part of the GDP would support promoting educational around 6% of GDP would be used for educational purpose. This step has been taken to be in tune with the changing times and education patterns. Courses relating to different skills would be offered to the student by selected IITs in all states. I am over to Shiva Bansal.
Good morning, everyone. I am here to represent the highlights of the budget presented by our Honorable Financial Minister, Mrs. Sitharaman. Under the budget has not proposed any change in the corporate and personal income tax rate. Under the entire regime, members of AOP suffer a surcharge of 37%. Now it is proposed for AOP for consisting of only as it members, the rate of surcharge is capped at 15%. And now for health and education sets, is allowed as a deduction under the head PGBP, but while computing the income. But as per new budget, it will not allow as deduction. Thank you. Over to room number 10.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aaron Banga, and I'm going to lead the main highlights of Budget 2022 presented by our Honorable Finance Minister, Shri Nirmala Sitharaman, on 1st of February. I would be covering some various aspects. Firstly, direct tax. The proposal will reduce surcharge on cooperative societies from 12% to 7% for those whose income is below 10 rupees 10 crore. The alternate minimum tax to be reduced to 15% for cooperative societies. Uh, to bring the parity between central and state government employees, the finance minister proposed to increase the threshold of employers' contribution to national pension scheme from 10% to 14%. Now, talking about digital currency, income from transfer of digital assets such as cryptocurrency to be taxed at 30%. No deductions will be allowed except for the cost of acquisition of these digital assets. Loss on sale of these digital assets cannot be set off against any other income. And the gifting of digital assets will also be taxable in the hands of receiver as well. Any surcharge and cess levied on income are not allowed as a business expenditure, and the tax holiday extended for startups incorporated up to 31st March 2023, and for new manufacturing companies commencing operations by 31st March 2024. Concessional tax regime on foreign sourced dividends to be withdrawn from financial year 22. Now let's talk about some GST. The last day to make amendments, corrections, and to claim any missed input tax credit is no longer the due date to file September return of the following year, but it has shifted to 30th November of the following year. The due date of the to file GSTR5 by non-resident taxable person is revised from 20th of the next month to 13th of the next month. Custom duty on cut and polished diamonds gems are to be reduced to 5%. Now talking about budget allocation, the revised fiscal deficit estimated at 6.9% of GDP in financial year 22 and a projected 6.4% fiscal deficit for financial year 23. The economy is expected to grow by 8 to 8.5% in financial year 2022 and 23. Capex targeted expenditure expanded by 35.4% from rupees 5.54 lakh crore to rupees 7.50 lakh crore. Now talking about infrastructure and jobs, which get the biggest boost in Union Budget 2022. Production-linked incentive scheme for achieving Atmanirbhar Bharat has received an excellent response, potentially creating 60 lakh new jobs and additional production of 30 lakhs crore during the next key cap digital 5 years. Beginning from October 2022, unblended fuel to get additional duty of rupees 2 per liter. Now talking about green economy, stressing on the transition to carbon neutral economy, Finance Minister Sita Raman has announced to allocate rupees 19,500 crore proposed for production-linked incentives for manufacturing of high-efficiency modules. Sovereign green bonds will be issued for mobilizing resources for investment in green infrastructure. Government has announced to pay rupees 2.37 lakh crore towards procurement of wheat and paddy under MSP operations. The year of 2022 and 23 has been announced as International Year of Millets. That's it from my side. Now over to Meenakshi. She would be discussing various other sectors. Thank you.
Good morning, friends. I am here to talk about the budget 2022 presented by our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on 1st Feb 2022. First of all, we talk about investment to sectoral allocation. Regulatory framework for venture capital reviewed expert committee to be set up. PM Development Initiative for the Northeast. This will enable livelihood activities for youth and women, and it is not substitute the existing center and state schemes. Now, talking about virtual currency, RBI to introduce the digital rupees using blockchain technology starting 2022 to 23. Now, talking about MSME, ease of doing business and living will be launched. FM announced extension of ECLGS till March 23, given that nearly 95% of ECLGS borrowers are MSMEs. To ensure the continued handholding of MSMEs and the service sector, extension of ECLG will be provided to Boon to leading the MSME sector. Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme has helped 130 lakh MSME to mitigate the worst impact of the pandemic. Now talking about e-vehicle and energy. E-vehicle and energy promoted energy efficiency, a battery swapping policy to be brought out with interoperability to boost the EV ecosystem. FM announced rupees 19,500 crores allocation in PLI for solar modules. Now talking about digital banking, an online bill system will be launched to reduce the delay in payment. All central ministry will use it. Carried growth increased by rupees 5.4 lakh crore this year. Now talking about internet connectivity, 5G spectrum auction in 2022 to 23. BharatNet project contracts for optical fiber network under the PP models. All villages should the same access to digital resource as urban area. Now talking about defense, 60% of the capital procurement budget in defense for domestic industry. Now talking about e-passport, issuance of e-passport with futuristic tech to be introduced in 2022 to 23. Now talking about healthcare, an open platform for the national digital health ecosystem will be rolled out. A national telemental health program will be launched. Now talking about infrastructure, roadways, railways and waterways. New rail product in the form of one station, one product. In this, 400 next-gen Vande Bharat trains and 100 PM GatiShakti cargo terminals over the next 3 years provide integration of NIP with GatiShakti. Draft DPRs for 5 rivers links have been finalized. The budget focused on public investment to modernize infrastructure over the medium term, leveraging the tech platform of GatiShakti via a multimodal approach. Four multimodal national parks contract will be awarded in financial year 23. Now talking about housing and basic amenities. In 2022 to 23, 80 lakh households will be identified for the affordable household scheme. 60,000 crores allotted for providing access to tap water to 3.8 crores household. The value of the increase in infra spend in nuclear through PM Gati Shakti plan, unlike the clear 34.5% increase last year to rupees 5.5 lakh crore. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. This was the last team.
Sir, all the